Good day, St. Maarten. I'm Yesenia Lazaro.
And I'm also Lawrence.
And welcome back to another edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's the beginning of the week. Happy holidays. Let's dive into our top headlines.
Integrity Chamber flags flaws in the airport's bidding process, advises reforms. The Integrity Chamber has completed its investigation into how the Princess Juliana International Airport Operating Company handled bidding procedures for its supermarket and pharmacy concessions. The review focused on whether the airport followed the legislative framework and whether any misconduct took place during the 2023 tender process. Investigators found that the airport was only partially compliant. While no misconduct occurred under the National Ordinance Integrity Chamber, several issues affected the fairness and quality of the process. These included a lack of transparency, limited communication, and RFP conditions that did not fully meet legal standards due to insufficient due diligence. The investigation also highlighted broader organizational concerns, unclear roles, weak accountability structures, and an internal culture that made consistent compliance more difficult. Based on the findings, the Integrity Chamber issued several recommendations. These include improving transparency and communication throughout the bidding process, strengthening procurement policies to match best practice standards, and ensuring that all future RFPs are properly reviewed by qualified experts to minimize errors. The Chamber also advised the airport to clearly define responsibilities for all stakeholders involved in concession decisions. The Integrity Chamber noted that the airport has already begun updating its internal procurement policies and procedures and expressed confidence that the recommended reforms will help strengthen integrity and compliance at the airport moving forward.
Appeals Court upholds 4.1 million guilder confiscation from former businessman OA. The Joint Court of Justice has upheld the confiscation of 4.147,400 guilders. The Joint Court of Justice has upheld the confiscation of 4,147,400 guilders in unlawfully obtained gains from former businessman OA, confirming an earlier ruling by the Court of First Instance of St. Maarten. The confiscation stems from criminal conduct for which OA was previously convicted. In that case, the court determined he had gained significant financial advantage through unlawful activity and ordered him to repay the funds to the country of St. Maarten. With this new appellate decision, that obligation remains fully in effect. At the time of the ruling, OA is serving a prison sentence in St. Maarten. The court also reaffirmed that if he fails to pay the full amount or if the funds cannot be recovered, a 3-year substitute detention may be imposed, consistent with the original judgment. During the appeal, OA's defense argued that the confiscation should be overturned or at least reduced. The appellate proceedings did take longer than the standard reasonable time frame, but the joint court ruled that the delay did not warrant lowering the amount owed. The judges found the confiscation appropriate, proportional, and legally sound. With the appeal dismissed, the confiscation order is now final, and the full amount, more than 4 million guilders, remains payable to the country St. Maarten.
VROMI installs a new 80-ton weighbridge at the landfill. The Ministry of VROMI has announced that a long-awaited 80-ton weighbridge has now been installed at the Phillipsburg landfill, marking a major step toward modernizing St. Maarten's waste management system. A weighbridge is a large industrial scale used to measure the volume of waste entering the landfill. The new equipment will allow the ministry to collect accurate data and eventually introduce waste-related fees to help finance the island's waste sector. The installation is part of the Emergency Debris Management Program, funded through the Trust Fund, which also includes plans to rehabilitate the current landfill and support broader improvements in waste management. On Sunday morning, representatives from VROMI and the National Recovery Program Bureau were on site as contractors AVTO and Elicom completed the installation. Minister of VROMI, the Honorable Patrice Gums Jr., confirmed that staff will undergo software and operations training this week to fully bring the weighbridge online. Minister Gums thanked his team, the NRPB, and the contractors for their continued dedication, noting that the upgrades form part of St. Maarten's push toward a cleaner, more sustainable future. He reminded the public that achieving this goal will take all of us. Sail ahead. How did 3 of the country's most influential ministries measure up after 1 year on the job? From healthcare to education and the nation's finances, we break down the progress and the pressure points. Our featured report is coming up, but first, the Sunshine Report.
A new day begins. The sun rises over St. Maarten, bringing new energy, new possibilities. This island was built on resilience, progress, and the strength of its people. Our connection is what moves us forward. It links our communities, our businesses, our families. From the heart of the island to the shores beyond, we've connected St. Maarten. From every street to every home, this network was built for St. Maarten by St. Maarten hands. Connection isn't just about signals, it's about people. This is your island and your network recharged. Proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
It's Missy with the Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive in today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us. And guess what? That's it for your Sunshine Report, brought to you by the Met Department of St. Maarten. So as you enjoy your wonderful day, stay safe, stay friendly, sunshine.
Three inaugural cruise ship calls highlight Port St. Maarten's premier status. Port St. Maarten is starting December in style with 3 inaugural cruise ship calls this week, cementing its reputation as a premier Caribbean destination. MSC Grandiosa kicked off the week on Monday, December 1st, followed by Celebrity XL coming up on Thursday, December 4th, and Marella Discovery 2 on December 7th. These vessels represented megaship, next generation luxury, and international UK operators, showcase St. Maarten's versatility in serving diverse passenger markets. The Celebrity XL brings high-yield, experience-driven travelers, boosting local spending on excursions, dining, and luxury retail. MSC Grandiosa highlights the port's capacity to handle large contemporary megaships efficiently, expanding St. Martin's reach into European markets. Marella Discovery 2 strengthens ties with the UK tourism sector, signaling confidence in the island's ability to meet varied guest expectations. These consecutive inaugural calls emphasize St. Martin's operational excellence, modern facilities, and strong collaboration with local businesses. The resultant visitor influx directly benefits taxi drivers, tour operators, restaurants, and retailers, reinforcing the island's role as a key Caribbean tourism hub.
Prison management thanked Climb Foundation's literacy and GED facilitators. The management team of Point Blanche Correctional Institution and the Miss Lally Youth Detention Facility recently met with Climb Foundation representative Dr. Yadira Boston and Dr. Pierre, whose long-standing service to the prison's educational programs has come to an end. Prison Director Stephen Carty expressed a deep gratitude for their dedication, emphasizing that literacy is more than reading and writing. It builds confidence, unlocks opportunities, and supports successful reintegration into society. Head of Corrections Henrietta Doran York highlighted how the facilitators extended their impact beyond GED preparations, offering tailored support to inmates at all educational levels and restoring confidence through patient, one-on-one guidance. During the meeting, the Climb team presented an overview of their accomplishments over the years and thanked prison staff for their collaboration. They also encouraged continued efforts to combat the stigma often associated with illiteracy, stressing that inmates can pursue both literacy and vocational skills simultaneously. Representing the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Rafael Barreto Sousa commended the facilitators' dedication, noting that their work provides valuable insights into the challenges and progress within the prison system. The management team concluded by wishing Dr. Boston, Dr. Pierre, and the Climb Foundation team continued success, noting that the seeds of education they've planted, whether a GED passed, a first book read, or a first sentence written independently, will continue to bear fruit for years.
SZV launches annual customer experience survey. Social and Health Insurance's SZV has launched its annual customer experience survey to better understand client needs and strengthen service delivery on St. Martin. The survey, which takes about 8 to 10 minutes to complete, is anonymous and can be accessed online at sfva.sx/survey 2025. To ensure impartiality, SFA has partnered with independent research company Deep Dive Data, which will also conduct in-person surveys at community locations and at SZV offices. Survey questions focus on clients' interactions with SZV, communication, overall satisfaction, and customer service experiences. The initiative aims to gather valuable feedback to help SZV evaluate processes and identify areas for improvement, ensuring services remain efficient, accessible, and aligned with community expectations. Elton Felici, SZV's Deputy Director, emphasized the importance of the survey. By listening to our clients, SFA can ensure services continue to meet the needs of our community. Morenica Arundel, Manager of Customer Care, added, "Your voice matters in shaping the future of SZV services." Clients are encouraged to participate and share their experiences. For more information, contact SZV at info@szv.sx or 1-721-546-6782 and visit szv.sx or SZV's social media channels. The show returns. 3 ministers, 1 year, and dozens of promises put to the test. Our in-depth look at the first year performance of health, education, and finance is next, right after this break.
You know, we all talk about having rights. And yeah, we do.
We have the right to be safe,
the right to learn and get an education,
the right to speak up and be heard,
the right to dream big and build our future.
But listen, rights don't stand alone.
We also have responsibilities.
Real talk, if we want respect, we gotta give respect too.
Maarten is our home.
So let's protect it. Keep our beaches clean, our streets clean, and show love to nature.
Healthy island, healthy future.
Our parents and guardians do a lot for us.
Let's show respect, talk to them, and listen, even when it's hard.
School prepares us for life.
So we show up, we stay focused, and we put in effort.
We want opportunities, so we work for them.
We are part of this community, every village, every culture, every neighborhood.
Let's be kind, positive, and supportive.
A stronger community starts with us.
And most importantly, we are responsible for ourselves.
We make healthy choices for our mind and body.
We believe in our goals and our voice and our future.
Our rights give us power, our responsibilities make us leaders. Together we rise.
The Convention of the Rights of the Child isn't just a policy, it's protection and responsibility. When our children learn their rights, they are better prepared to take on their responsibility. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Youth.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every laugh, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Hi, I am Karim Tulen, co-founder of Carib Assist Pro. Our goal is to help busy professionals, elderly, housewife, local, tourists, practically anybody that needs assistance in the day-to-day chores.
We have different services like groceries, do your shopping, and also run your errands. We can provide transportation services for all members of the family, whether it's you on commute or getting the kids to school. House activities and house services that include pet sitting. All of these let us take off your hands and let us make those reservations so you don't have to stress about having a good time.
So you can have less stress and more free time. Through our discretion, we make an impression.
Today, we're taking a closer look at the first year scorecards of 3 key ministries: health, education, and finance. All 3 ministers marked their 1-year anniversaries with reports outlining what they accomplished, what challenged them, and what lies ahead. From strengthening the public health system to reshaping the future of education to stabilizing St. Maarten's finances, each portfolio faced its own realities. Alson has all the details.
Thank you, Jasenia. The Ministry of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, VSA, spent its first year under Minister Richinel Bruk, emphasizing something many civil servants say has been missing for years: appreciation. Minister Bruk commemorated his one-year milestone by gathering VSA staff, pensioners, and long-serving employees for a reflection ceremony. There, he thanked frontline workers who kept systems moving despite staff shortages and rising demands. During the event, the ministry presented its State of Affairs assessment as well as its strategic direction for the year ahead. The minister highlighted progress in elderly care, mental health, social development, labor enforcement, and internal capacity building. He acknowledged those retiring in 2025 and the employees whose decades of service continued to shape the ministry's identity. Minister Bruk stated that the past year proved the strength of collaboration, and he pledged to further improve services for the most vulnerable in 2026. Over at the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, Minister Melissa Gums delivered one of the most comprehensive reflections of the three. She described her first year as a mix of rebuilding trust, correcting inherited issues, and confronting structural weaknesses that had long gone unaddressed. One of her biggest concerns was what she called knowledge loss, a system where institutional memory depended heavily on individuals instead of structures. She also noted that the government's bureaucracy remained too inflated for a country of St. Maarten's size, often slowing down problem solving rather than supporting it. A major challenge sat within public education. The Division of Public Education, she said, had not functioned with the coherence of a real school board for years. That left accountability scattered, processes inconsistent, and long-term improvements difficult to sustain. As a result, the minister accelerated the transformation of the Department of Public Education, strengthening supervision, restoring governance mechanisms, and pushing toward a modernized structure. But the year also had its milestones. One of the most meaningful was the completion of the long-awaited FBE review, a major diagnostic of the country's education system. The findings confirm what many teachers had been observing. Literacy and numeracy levels needed urgent attention. In response, the ministry positioned literacy and numeracy as anchor priorities for the years ahead. Public engagement sessions on the review were already planned, and the minister said the recommendations now act as a compass guiding future reforms. Minister Gums also outlined ambitions for year 2, including establishing a youth cabinet, modernizing workflows, closing legislative loopholes that allow discrimination in education, and continuing to push for sustainable financing for culture and the creative industries. Through it all, she credited MECYS, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, workers, school staff, and her cabinet team for navigating a year that demanded more than routine. She described the ministry's evolution as quiet but necessary work, laying foundations for long-term impact. Rounding out the trio, Finance Minister Marinka Gums released a detailed 27-point recap of her first year. Much of it focused on strengthening oversight, public engagement, and modernization. Among her flagship initiatives was Finance Fridays, which opened the ministry's doors on the last Friday of every month so the public could raise questions directly with senior officials. She cited improved budget processes, updated tax tables, and better governance of state-owned entities. Her ministry advanced the tourist tax modernization, worked on fairer rules for AOV income, and introduced purchase orders to strengthen financial controls. A number of major financial actions were also completed. The refinancing of 73.5 million guilders in debt under better conditions, approval of a 30 million guilder capital expenditure loan for digital services and infrastructure, and continued negotiations on adopting the Caribbean guilder. The minister also oversaw progress toward digital income tax filing, centralized government invoicing within the finance ministry, and launched send-to payments for vehicle tax, making transactions faster and more secure. Other highlights included financial literacy sessions for the public, school outreach during Financial Literacy Month, a major banking panel with the St. Maarten Bankers Association, and steps toward comprehensive tax reform. In her closing report, Minister Gums thanked residents for their support and said the ministry remained committed to transparency, stronger systems, and responsible financial management. Back to you, Jess.
Thanks, Alston. 3 ministries, 3 distinct portfolios, and one shared message: that the work of government is far from finished. As each minister enters their second year, the themes are consistent: stronger systems, better service to public, and a push for long-term stability across health, education, and finance. We'll continue to follow their progress as the next year unfolds. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday morning at 8 o'clock on TV15 and then across our social media platforms. I'm Austin Lawrence.
And I'm Jessica Nalasa, wishing you an amazing weekday. See you tomorrow.
Stay friendly, stay Maarten.